Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Lego. In this episode, the trio bring on a guest and do an investment analysis on his old collection from when he was a child. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Lego. And this week, we have my two co-hosts,
Minifigcentral
and BrickBucas.
and we have a guest with us today.
Hi, I'm Rob.
This is Rob Long. He's a friend of my father's, and he's got a collection we've analyzed, and we are going to take a
Excited to get into it.
Yeah. So, first order of business. Let's ask you a few questions. What's your history on Lego?
Well, for me, I remember my history started when we had just moved into a new house in Henrietta for a brief time I grew up all in Gates, and there was like a 1 year that we lived in Henrietta, and because we moved houses, I was probably 3 or 4, and I still remember this day, not being able to take the change very well, and my dad bought me a Lego set, which was the one that I sent you, the original yellow truck, and it was just, if you look at it today, you look at the picture and you look at it very basic, a bunch of square Legos together, and I remember having that, and that was my first Lego set, and then it just started from there to, I got really big into what was the town Lego collection at the time. It wasn't even city Legos, and I just collected anything, and every birthday, every Christmas, that's all I asked for was Legos. I could care less about getting a football or a bike or anything. It was just, give me Legos, and built a collection all the way up through college, and then unfortunately I put stuff in a box, and then it was quite a few years, and then when I had kids of my own, then it was, hey, let's get back into Legos again, and instead of town Legos, which I found out didn't exist anymore, it was now city Lego collection. So it took a little while to see more modern things, modern sets, but it was pretty cool, and still every once in a while I get Legos for Christmas or my birthday still. I'm in my 40s.
It reminds me a lot of, us. That's all we really ask for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't really ask for much else. It's kind of just whatever's out at the time, whenever Lego sets are out.
Definitely.
Whatever we didn't get already.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. Back in the day when there was box stores and everything wasn't online, you're kind of limited as to what you could buy too. So you would go to a Gold Circle or a Hills store, which would probably outdate you guys, but they're like older versions of Walmart, only smaller. And you'd go to the Lego aisle and be like, all right, what do they have? And it'd be 8 sets that you already had, 10 sets that you don't care about because it was like space Legos or something. I'm like, all right. And then there'd be one new one, and it was, hey, can I get? It was always hard.
One thing about back in those days is I'm sure it was much more of a surprise what was on the shelves, because nowadays with the internet, you see all the new sets that are coming out like 6 months in advance. So it's probably much more of a joy and like being surprised what was out.
Yeah, it was definitely different that way.
I feel like it's almost a better time, because I feel like nowadays, it was so complicated. There's so many new pieces that, it's just hard sometimes to follow how many there actually are. There's thousands of new pieces now, not just the bricks anymore. It's a huge play set now.
Well, you look at it, every movie, every TV show, every cool thing that happens in society now gets a Lego set. Right. You got Pirates of the Caribbean Legos and Stranger Things Legos. My son just got a Stranger Things Lego set, so I'm like, really? So everything gets a Lego set now. So back then it was just the small themes. You had town, castle, and space. And I don't know if there was anything else when I first started, but I think it was those 3 realms, and that's all you got. There was none of these other. And then the Technic Legos came where you could build monsters and metal things.
Their independent themes haven't done as well as the licensed themes, so it's kind of why bother, I feel for them. But I think it's good for the hardcore Lego fans that the original Lego sets, because I feel like they have their certain charm to them. The licensed sets, I guess you're going to get more mainstream people buying those, but the hardcore Lego City, you're going to get hardcore Lego fans buying those.
Yeah, so
it's for me, you go around the corner here to Target and go pick up, you gotta go buy toilet paper. And I always push right through, you gotta go check the Lego aisle out and see what's there, what's on sale. You get around Christmas time, it's buy 1 set, get 3 or buy 3 sets, you get one at 50% off or something. And you're like, all right, I gotta find a way to buy all these sets. But
The sad part about our Target, for us, I guess, anyways, because we already have a lot of sets, is that they don't like to update.
they don't. Yeah,
their roster.
it's always the same thing.
Lots of empty shelves recently.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been so popular actually with the new stuff that they sell it instantly, or they can't get them because they've had a lot of factory problems recently.
You always end up with that little bag of extra pieces at the end,
Yeah.
right, of every set, and it makes you wonder if you put them all in there.
Yeah.
But I've never had one that I can recall where it was missing a piece. At least not one that I took away from the set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's definitely a plus with Lego.
Yeah. They've always been right on the money. So.
Or they have their service where if you're actually missing a piece, you can just go on their website and they'll replace it for you. So that's a nice feature.
Or if it's like misprinted or broken, you can have them
Oh,
send
you know
for
that.
free.
Cool.
All right, so do we want to get into the collection?
Why not?
Sure.
All right, how do we want to do this?
So first off, your retail price of all your sets is $1,451. That's just the price that you paid retail for all the sets that you bought. And we put all the sets that you got together, the price nowadays, and the grand total was...
Drum roll, please. $3,463.
Wow. Well, all right.
So
There's
almost
some investment value in them.
Yeah, almost triple the value.
Yep.
And
Jeez.
you said that you don't have all your sets even listed on there.
Yeah. There's. I mean, I'd have to dig through just to remember some of them too. But those are ones once I started going through the website, and I was looking at the thumbnail pictures, and I blew them up, and I'm like, oh my god, I have that one. So then I would add it to my little list, and just kind of keep adding it up. But wow.
But I mean, if you said what you said was true, and you have some pirate sets, or maybe like the castle, those will go for a lot, especially the castle, because I know Lego's coming back out with all these castle sets.
Oh,
like they just came out with like a huge castle set, so people will be trying to buy out as many castle sets as they can.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I know I bought one castle set because what I did in the basement of my house growing up, my dad had a table probably as wide as this right here, and it was just up against the wall. It was enough for 2 Lego plates. Mm-hmm. So then I started with that, and then ended up with, I think it was 3 full sheets of plywood, and it was built into a city. So I had all the roads and the gas station set up, and the truck stop, and
that's awesome.
The police and fire. And then I put the castle because I was like, oh, that would be cool, like a museum. So we bought one castle to put in the middle, and made it the museum for the town. And that's how I got into some of the other side sets, like the pirate set. Even though I didn't build the one, I can't even remember what it was, like a pirate building of some sort with a little boat. I just bought it because it had palm trees. I was like, oh, palm trees, those are cool, because the Lego sets back in those days, you got these little green trees that were about 1.5 inches or 2 inches tall, and they had really no character to them.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they came out with these big brown trees with big palm leaves. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Right. So it was a little harder back in the day too to just buy single things. I noticed like on the Lego website now you can go and buy, like if you wanted to buy a palm tree, you just go on the website and you can buy a palm tree, and that's like a thing. Obviously back then we didn't have the internet, so you couldn't go on the internet and buy.
Right.
But you get the little booklets that would come with the set. It would show you like different sets coming out in the future, and then back a couple pages you could buy just like bricks or flags or stuff like that. So every once in a while you'd see a tree set or something. I would buy those just to put landscaping around. But.
So was it kind of like a pack, like a tree pack? Would you?
Yep. Yeah, you could buy pack. I wish I had one of the booklets. I probably do somewhere buried in my basement, but it would have like the sets that were coming out or sets that were available. And then in the back you could buy the gray Lego piece take apart tool. It was like you could use that. You could buy flags or construction cones or the road signs. I bought little road signs for all over the town, and just get these little pieces in the back. So
we have they're called like brick removers, piece removers now. They're like little orange sticks. They come in a bunch of different colors. Like some sets, if they're big enough, they'll be like a teal.
Okay.
There was a green one a while ago, but yeah, we've gotten our fair share of piece removers too.
Yeah, it was always you just bite them apart.
Yeah.
And you have teeth marks in some of the Legos.
Oh yeah.
Like still to this day, I got teeth marks in my Legos.
I've actually recently been sorting out all my my old Lego collection, because I mean, there's all broken stuff, and it is quite interesting to go through your old stuff. Like, I started out with Lego City stuff too. Like, I had the Coast Guard boat, and it is very interesting to go through like the old stuff you had as a kid. So I'm sure you had joy going through and logging all your stuff.
Yeah, I want to say about a year ago when the world was shut down and everyone was at home. My son, he's 11 now. We took all my trucks. All the cars are still built, just in boxes. So we opened all those out. We were playing out with them on the basement floor, and I'm looking at some of them, from the basic like 1980s truck, and you're looking at it, and you're like, oh my god, this thing looks dumb compared to some of the more modern looking vehicles. But we were playing with the vehicles out, and then we started putting some of the sets together. And then I was like, oh man, I would really like to get these back out. And then just ended up putting them back in the box and putting them away again. And I was like, so who knows? Maybe in the future, now that he's getting older, and I know he's not going to smash them all, so we will bring them out.
I actually was looking at your list, and I think we share at least two sets. Because you have the police dog truck that comes with the one little police dog, and then a mobile command center, like one of the older ones. We talked about that previously, Lucas, as a little one. Smashed it along with my police boat.
So what happened for me before we set up the big city in my basement, when I was a kid, so I have a younger brother as well, and we set up a whole dining room table. It's with the there's a Shell gas station in my list that I had in the middle, a space shuttle with a launch pad, and I think one of the police and fire stations. And we set it up on the dining room table, and then went away, and then came back one day, and I referred to it as the hurricane, but everything was smashed because that's the age my brother was at. I was probably 8 or 9, he was 3 or 4, and everything was just in pieces. And back in those days, you put the Lego set together and you throw your Lego book away. So you'd never know how to rebuild the thing. So it took years, and then once I got older and kind of figured it out a little bit, you could look at the picture of it on a box and figure out how to put the pieces back together somewhat, and then obviously with the invention of the internet when I was in my college age, you could look up the booklets and actually put some of the sets back together. So I was able to put back together some of the older sets. And then now when I went through this website that you guys had that you're using, I saw they have like booklets or ways to get booklets or maybe it was Lego's website for some of the earlier sets that I had as a kid. So I may try and put like that yellow truck back together because I know I have all those pieces somewhere in a box.
On Lego.com, you can look up any instruction, like all the old ones, and that's very useful because I know lots of people don't like to hold on to their instructions. I actually just threw out a bunch of my instructions because they really pile up.
Yeah, now that's digitalized. I mean, that'd be good. I think I have a box full of instruction manuals back at home. So after a while, I got smart and I started keeping them because I was like, oh, hey, if this breaks,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I myself have like 2 folders just full of instruction manuals because at one point I just kept every single one. So this just really piles up.
Actually, I actually want to see if I can find a picture of the first one. See if I can pull it up on Lego.com. See what the old booklet looked like.
Website.
So the set is so old that we can't even get on the Lego website. We had to go to another source.
Try and find the graphics from the truck.
The old sticker sheet is
Yep.
quite interesting.
Yeah.
It's
That's another problem too. Like if I had all my trucks and cars here, you would look at them and there's like I could never get those stupid stickers on anything straight. So they're all sideways or partial sideways. The little license plates that they used to give you for cars, they're all falling off the side. And yeah, it was always a pain. And then they started coming. Then they started coming with them on.
Oh yeah, printed.
Yeah, printed on, which is nice.
So those who are just listening can't see it. This is the instructions for this set are in the vein of what would be like a poly bag nowadays, where it comes with the tiny booklet, not the big booklet, where you can like unfold it and then follow the paper. So this was a fairly smaller set.
I mean, it's also kind of interesting because it still does look like it has quite a few pieces, but it's just kind of cool that they could fit all those like steps on like a small booklet.
Into
Yeah.
10 steps.
Yeah.
10
See, one of the cool things too, though, like I noticed with the newer sets, you get bags. In a big set, you get bags 1 through 14. And the bag goes to the spot in your booklet as you're building it, and you know what to do. In those days, I remember getting some of the sets, and it was a bag inside a box, and you had a booklet. So you open it up, and there's 4,000 pieces.
Yeah.
And then you go to put it together, and you're like, okay. Or you'd have 2 or 3 bags, like really, really small pieces would be in a bag, unlabeled.
Yeah.
All the big pieces, but they wouldn't tell you where to go in the construction or in the instruction manual. So you'd have to like separate them into piles and try and just dig through it all. I mean, that was part of the fun, I guess, in building them. So
that's how I used to do it as a kid.
just
I
dump them
used
all
to
out.
I just used to unzip all, or like rip off all the bags, dump them all, and then just spread them out, and then just build. That's when we used to go to my nana's for Christmas. That's how I would do it all the time. I'd take the set downstairs after I got my gifts, not watch anyone else open theirs, and then just
Build it
go
all.
nuts on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my son, he's big into the Mario collection, the Super Mario. He's got the little different worlds and Mario and Luigi, and they can hit little pieces on there and they make noises and you get coins. And that's his style, because some of those sets, they'll have 6, 7 bags and he just like rips them all open and it's like, no, they're labeled now.
I know. Yeah, they have Peach now for that too.
Yeah, he showed me the other day that they had Peach, and he's like, we got to get her. So
Yeah.
now we got to see when that one comes out. But
And now with Mario, they have a big Bowser too, like a big Bowser set. It's pretty cool. They had to make some new molds.
I think it's been a hit with the kids, it seems, though. Like, when we went to the Lego store on August 1st, like the release day, I saw a bunch of kids getting the new Mario sets, so I think it's
nice.
big with the little kids.
He loves those. I was stuck at, I had to go to Albany last year for work, and there was a period of time I was waiting for some equipment to get calibrated, and then I'm just like sitting there. So I was like, oh, what to do? And I went and took a nap at a parking lot at Walmart, which didn't go very well. But ended up in a mall and I hit a Lego store. So I was in there, and I probably spent 2 hours. I didn't buy anything all the way up until the end, but probably spent 2 hours just walking through, looking at all the different things. Like I was amazed that they had the Magic Kingdom set, which was like $400 and something, and then
Insane.
right next to it they had the White House, like some of these different sets that they had. And I'm like, oh my god, just
Crazy.
staring at them. And then they had a whole bunch of the Mario ones. So then it was right around Christmas time, so I ended up picking those up for my son. So I don't know, I spent a ton of money there just buying Mario Legos.
You said you had a space shuttle.
Mm-hmm. I think
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure I put it in the list. It had a little launch pad, a red tower launch pad with it.
Yeah, I saw it when
Good
we were
wait.
calculating the prices. Yeah, right
Oh,
there.
yep, that one right there.
Oh, okay.
It comes with this little cart that you can bring the people to and fro. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so this one, the new price is like $100 used,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was crazy. But if you kept it sealed, it'd be like $800, which is like absolutely insane.
Yeah, see, and that was the thing though. There was never the intention to ever keep the Legos in their box sealed, because you wanted to rip them open and play with them right away. Like
Right.
destroy the box to get it open, and then build it all to play with it and show it off. And yeah, wow, I can't believe it took me that much. It was a cool set.
I think that's why all these old sets are so valuable, because, I mean, they were meant... Back in the day, Lego was definitely more kids. Now they've shifted more to adults, but, I mean, if you give Legos to the kids, they're going to rip it right open. They're not going to keep stuff sealed like the adults nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of stuff being kept sealed for investments and stuff, so the game's kind of changed when it comes to that sense, keeping stuff sealed and all that.
It was like that with sports cards too. We used to buy the baseball. Like I bought baseball cards in a little foil baseball pack, because back in the day it came with gum. It was the worst chewing gum you could ever have, but you loved to eat it. So I would buy the packs of the gum, and then you put the cards on your bike to make your bike sound like a motorcycle. So that, and now it's like, hey, if you had the 1983 Topps baseball card pack, it's worth this much money. You're like, oh my god, I bought them for $0.25 back in the day.
I know.
Ate the gum, threw the cards away, and then now it's the packs are going $25-$30 just to buy a pack to the cards. I'm like, holy cow.
All right, so we're going to wrap things up, but before we wrap anything up, we're going to hear our news from Minifigcentral.
All right, lots of news, guys, today. Essentially, 3 different themes announced their whole wave. So first up, I'm going to start out with, we have a picture of these. I mean, what the assumption is they're going to be for the foosball set. And these are the characters they're going to use for the foosball set, probably just minifigures so you can add on to them, but also a theory about them being for the Olympics. I don't know. But it's unknown right now what it's going to be for. Next up, we have some Marvel sets. We know there's going to be a Hulk mech, a Thanos mech, Rocket Raccoon mech, and these are all coming out in January 2023. Following that, we have the Hulkbuster Battle on Wakanda. This is going to be coming out in January as well. I think this is going to be a good remake. I know it's been anticipated, and people will be excited to get this one. Following that, we have the Avengers Quinjet. Also, January 2023, another remake, but that's kind of how it goes with Marvel, and another exciting set. Next up, for Guardians of the Galaxy, we know there's going to be 3 sets, one for $10, $35, and $100. Following that, we know there's going to be a Lego City gift with purchase, which will include a road plate. It's going to be a sandwich joint, it looks like. I think it'll be a nice tiny set. It'll be a cool thing to add to your Lego City. And we also have the continuing of Spidey and His Amazing Friends, definitely for the little kids. We know there's going to be 3 sets, $10, $35, and $50. And we have the March 2023 Harry Potter leaks. We have a Gryffindor house banner, Slytherin house banner, Ravenclaw house banner, Hufflepuff house banner, and Hogwarts Room of Requirement. And the Blacklight Tri-Wizard Challenge. And Bucas, do you want to get into that set?
Well, I'm just mainly really excited because it hasn't been made in 15 years, so there's a lot of improvements that they could do to it, and I heard it has like the big wooden stands, or at least one of them, which is really cool.
We also have the announcement of the Technic sets. I know we got into Technic earlier. We're going to have a Liber LR 1300 for $450. We're going to have a dump truck, just a tiny dump truck set, $10. A Snowcat, Monster Jam Dragon, $20. Monster Jam Monster Mutt Dalmatian, $20. And the Bugatti Bolide for $50. And we have a firefighter aircraft, a NASCAR Next Gen vehicle, and a 2022 Ford GT.
We are also, it looks like, getting the Batman's bike in Technic, which for DC fans is a huge plus because we've been missing DC sets for so long, especially Batman. The only DC set coming out today is a little bike and Batman Harley Quinn set.
4+ set.
4+, and it's a 4+ set.
And that is the final rumor. So lots of news. I know I kind of sped through, but for time's sake, I got all the news out.
All right. So with that wrapped up, I think we're just about done here. If you liked this podcast, wherever you found it, like it, share it, send it out there. To my hosts.
Peace.
Goodbye.
And to our guests, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. I'll see you guys in the next one.